Jello again, Aaron here from My Turbo Reviews, and today I want to show off my brand new G2 Combiner Wars Stunticons, what I received in the post the other day. Now overall this is a nice set, much like the G2 aerial bots that I got a couple months ago. It's a bit different. Actual G2 counterparts to these guys are very scarce, given that they weren't actually released at retail, and only one of them, that being Breakdown, was ever released at all in any official capacity. But let's get started with vehicles. First up is Blackjack here, and he's not an actual G1 or G2 character, so this is what they imagined he would look like in G2 colors. And I do have to say, he's not bad. He definitely goes along with the color scheme that they were going for with the combined mode of Menasor. Unfortunately, he's still got the same flaws as all the other instances of this mold, and I'll go into that later. Dragstrip here is very different color-wise from the original release in Combiner Wars of this figure. Mostly gone is his yellow, although you can still see some in the cockpit and the combiner port. Replaced by, well, light blue. Although the colors strike me more as an odd bot out in this set. Breakdown. Breakdown is nice. He is mostly this light blue color, at least in vehicle mode. He does show off several different colors once you get him into bot mode, which we'll see later. And he's got 94 Racing, which is an homage to the year that the toy was released at BotCon. And I do appreciate the giant G2 Decepticon symbol on his hood. Next up, Dead End. And just like Breakdown and just like Breakneck, he's got a gigantic G2 Decepticon symbol. Tampograph details are nice on him. Color-wise, his normal G1 counterpart was a more maroon red, but I think this color works quite well on him too. Then we have Breakneck, aka Wild Rider, who's the third one to be sporting that giant Decepticon symbol on his hood, and he's of course a repaint with a new head of Dead End, but he's nice, and given the completely different color scheme, it sets him apart from his mold mate. Got some really nice tampographed detail work up there. I was a little surprised to find out that this is tampographed and not actually a sticker. It's just really very nice. And he's the only one that sports something so detailed in his alt mode. And then finally we've got the leader of the team, Motormaster, who looks really, really G2 in this color scheme. This guy really pulls off a G2 look. There's a lot of light blue in this set as a whole, and while it does a lot to bring everybody together theme-wise, it, I think, is a little bit detrimental to the look of the combined mode, which I'll get to again in a bit. Alright, so now that I've gone over the vehicles, let's look at the bots. The Combiner Wars Stunticons always seem to me to be set apart a bit, design-wise or aesthetically, from the way that the G1 Stunticons looked. At least much more so than their contemporaries, the Combiner Wars aerial bots, were set apart aesthetically or design-wise from the G1 Aerialbot toys. And the G2 versions of these molds are pretty much the same thing. There's more color revealed on these toys in their robot modes, and a lot of it continues to unify the team color-wise as a whole. Little Blackjack here, again, has no classic counterpart. He exists pretty much to be Menasor's chest in combined mode, and even then he doesn't really do a great job of that. But he is a nice little bot, and if nothing else, at least he's a nice little bonus added on with the set. Dragstrip here, in robot mode, seems much less of the odd bot out, as his colors start to match up a little bit more with his fellows. But he's definitely one of the bots I was thinking of, talking about how these guys are set apart quite a bit from the G1 toys. Breakdown is nice. He's still quite that pastel blue color predominantly, and he looks, from what I can gather looking at the pictures of the G2 toy of the same name, quite a bit different, at least color-wise, from that figure. Dead End. Again, even in robot mode, he's the one that's most similar color-wise to his G1 counterpart. And he does actually sport a purple G2 Decepticon symbol, which the other ones don't, and which I kind of wish they did. Then there's Breakneck, aka Wild Rider, looking a lot like the color that I think the Combiner Wars Sunstreaker should have been, rather than that more translucent looking yellow. This guy is nice. Of course, for most of them it's brand new territory for us, given that not every one of us has seen what the G2 Stunticons were supposed to have looked like, given that they were never actually released at retail. And finally, Motormaster. Again, he pulls these colors off very well. You got a bit of red on him in robot mode that stands out and really nicely picks out the details on him. As nice as he looks, though, I do have to say that, again, the purple and blue that's used throughout the set kind of defeats the purpose of what type of characters these guys are supposed to be. But hey, it was the 90s, and this was the sort of thing that Hasbro marketing figured kids would go for. Go figure. Alright, let's get these guys combined. Alright, just gonna add the chest piece in. See, that's the problem with this mold. It will not fit snug in the chest. And that's why I display him with this off. Well, anyway, here we have Menasor. And this is where I say that those lighter, more pastel-looking colors are most a detriment. This guy is supposed to be a big raging monster, and well, it's a little difficult to imagine him as being such in the colors that he's got going on. But again, 90s colors, so let's get away from that to talk about the combined mode itself. The 5 Stunticons form a fantastic combined mode. I mean, this guy is really nice looking, and as combiners go, I think he gets overshadowed by some of the more popular Decepticon combiners. Classically, you've got Devastator, you've got Bruticus, you've got Predaking, and they all are kind of more popular than this guy. But, I mean, this is definitely a set worth getting if you like the Stunticons, if you like G2, and if you like your bad guys to come in pastel Easter colors, then I'd say go for this set. True fact, a lot of people believe that the Stunticons got their name because of the fact that the robots change into a group of stunt vehicles, while the real story is a bit more tragic. You see, as it turns out, the 5 of them, when they were younger, partook in some bad energon that stunted their growth. And there you have the Stunticons. And this is Aaron from My Turbo Reviews saying, catch you later.